Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. My name is Dev Rossick. Today we are playing Valheim, the outstanding survival and crafting game from Iron Gate. In the last session we ended up by fighting a bunch of bears, and while we survived, I realized something shortly after that I've been limiting my abilities because of the bow that I was using. I'm still using the crude bow, when in fact I have the resources to make the next best bow, the fine wood bow. So I went out offline and cut down a few more birch trees to get some fine wood. Also going to need a little bit of that. And some deer hide. Well, let's just take half of that. Let's make a fine wood bow. And then we're going to try and upgrade it. Okay. Can we upgrade it again? We can. And now we need a level 4 workbench for the next upgrade, but that's all right. We'll put that in place. And that should give us some much better results whenever we're shooting arrows. Well, you're kind of full. Here, I'll shove you in there. Okay. Now, we do know there's a couple bears out there waiting for us, assuming they're still there. We also still want to find some more copper and get our bronze up to the level where we can make more things. We do now have the bronze pickaxe, which should greatly speed up our copper mining. Oh, you'll also notice I made a bunch more fire arrows. I'm learning from the fact that we kept running out. Need a bit more food. And let's go see what we can find. Okay. Let's see. We probably want to start by, oh, look at you. Piece of tin out here. Could use a refill on some of our foods. What do we have? Well, we have plenty of honey. We'll fill that one up. Don't have any cooked meats, so we'll do a little bit of that. Here, I'm going to put them on the toolbar so that I can control exactly what I'm cooking. I need 6 more boar meat. 2, 3, 5, 6. All right. Done with that. And I only need 6 of these. Right. Right. Yep. Well, actually I needed 7. Close enough. I like this setup with the fires in the middle because it gives you lots of accessibility to the cooking stations. Okay. Now we've got some bears over here. We've got this copper right here that we want to try mining. We've got our copper portal right over there. We suggested last time we might want to move that portal to the new location. We'll probably do that. So let us head toward the copper portal. Where's the portals again? This end, I think. Okay. I'm going to take this down. Now, did we have this spot marked on the map? We do. So let's head inside here and grab, oh look, 10 wood from there, which we'll need to make a workbench in order to put up the portal again. Right, we got to cross over that. Stamina, stamina. Okay, so here's our spot. Let's pick a good spot for the portal. Right here should be fine. I want it out of the way of the mining, but close enough to be handy. Oh, come on. There we go. Call that copper. There we go. All right. Now, we will take a quick look around. Make sure there's not a troll or bear immediately adjacent. When they hear the sounds, they will probably come running. In fact, there is a bear. I just didn't see it the first time. Okay. Well, well, well. This is interesting. Let's see how this goes. Now, the pinewood bow doesn't make your bow shooting any faster, but it makes it a little bit more flat in its trajectory, and it does more damage than it would with crude bow. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Oh boy. Need to find a rock. See if I can get on top of it. This one's not very tall, but I did get up there. Oh, come on. That's the problem with those rocks. You just can't stay on top of them. Let's try this guy from this side. There we go. Okay. Now let's see how this works. It's definitely taking damage a little faster because of the bow. But I think this bow also uses slightly more stamina than the crude bow, so there's always a trade-off. Just keep them on fire. I feel cold. Of course, when we set out for an expedition, it always turns night minutes later, doesn't it? And get off of here. Oh, he's up there. Doggone it. Now, sometimes when they get up on those rocks, they kind of get stuck. I think it's a pathing problem. They have trouble seeing their way off. How did I miss him? Okay. Well, I think that actually went a little easier than previously, and certainly used a smaller number of arrows. Alright, anything else? Did I get a trophy? No. Disappointing. Alright, so that was that bear. Now it's nighttime, so I'd really prefer not to fight the bear again. Let's head back over here to the copper node. You I can take out with my claws. We have more. Oh, shamans. Did he poison me? Not sure. Alright, don't want that junk. Okay. Oh, one thing I should do. This portal isn't here anymore. Instead, it's over here. Right. Fix your gear. Sleep through the night. Okay. And it's raining. How special. Well, we're certainly collecting a lot of bear hide and bear paws. If we were needing those to upgrade our gear again, do we have any upgrades for those? Let's see. Nope, that takes the higher level workbench. Paws of the bear, loincloth of the bear. How about our deer hide cape? Ah, for that we just need bones. I think we have lots of bones now. Yeah. Always good to review that from time to time to make sure that you are not missing any potential upgrades. Leather helmet. Can upgrade that. Great. Put that back on. Got our armor all the way up to 24. Very nice. That's already maxed out. And that's maxed out. Maxed out there. I'm not going to upgrade the club anymore. See why a little later. Everything else requires workbench level 4, which we don't have yet. Going to fill up some more arrows. I really did make quite a bunch of them. And then we're going to eat again. And head on out. In spite of the rain. See if we can find that other bear. If we can get that trophy, I'd love to complete my bear armor set. Okay, it was over there somewhere. Let's see what we can find. Also stay alert for trolls. They can be very sneaky in the rain. It would be just over here somewhere. Bear. Mr. Bear. This marker was only an approximation, so I don't know if he's actually over here. Yes. There. That'll make a little noise. See if it draws anything out. It's possible he's gone. Creatures do despawn. There's a deer. Okay. Well, maybe he'll show up later. Maybe he won't. And take this marker off the map since he's obviously not right in that spot. We'll try and stay alert. Make sure that another bear doesn't sneak up on us if possible. It's quite a shock when you're just wandering through the forest and suddenly a bear leaps at you from the nearest tree. Not from up the tree, but from around the back side of it. Okay. Let's get busy on this copper. Try out our new bronze pickaxe, see how well it does. Oh, it's a little bit faster. Basically, just because it's doing more damage. And of course, the more I use it, the more my skill increases. And that helps me to do even more damage, and as well as reducing... You know, this tree could go away. Okay, as well as reducing the stamina usage. Oh yeah. As I say, the noise of mining always brings out all the looky-loos from the neighborhood. All right. Now there's some copper down there. Do a little digging in the ground to get at it, but once again, I'm not going to dig a deep hole here. There's too much copper around to make that effort really necessary. What I normally do is kind of go around the outside first and then work toward the middle. Or maybe not. You know, it doesn't really matter. Break it up any way that works for you. Oops. Ah, I seem to be full. I don't have... a nearby... a nearby cabin. So... Kidding, I need one more piece of wood. One more piece of wood. You know what? Here, let me toss out the stones. There, I can move. Alright. So let me just drop a chest over here to help clear up the unwanted junk. I mean, not entirely unwanted, but not the stuff I want at this exact moment here. I'll put that there. And pick up all of this assorted stuff. Okay. Pick up all that. Then I'll keep the materials in there while I'm working, and then at the end I'll pick them up and make the trip back to the base. The other thing I'll have to look at is the repairs on this pickaxe. Can't do those out here in the field the way I could with the antler pickaxe that needs a forge. So hopefully it will have a longer life. Although since I'm doing more damage, that kind of gets offset as well. It's always a trade-off. Gray doors coming in. Okay. We got some obstacles growing up through our copper node over here. Well, take out the bush. The stone. Stone's going to need to be broken apart. How's our pickaxe doing? It's getting worn out. Yeah. There we go. Was hitting both the copper and the stone at the same time, so it was resisting. Okay. We still got some weight to go. Up. Pickaxe broke. Yeah, you would wonder why you would ever need to go hunt these guys the way they come down and visit you. I still have this pickaxe here, though. So, let's see. Great. Isn't that strange the way those pop up after you've broken it and several seconds have passed? Let's see. Get my axe out and start to clear some of this tree stuff away. I'm going to cut this one down. Now the stump's going to be underneath there. We'll see it once we get through the copper. Don't break more trees. Come on. I hate leaving these things sitting here, and of course each time I cut another one down, another one breaks. Ay ay ay. Yes, I could just leave these, but not how I do it. And there goes another one. See? It's an unending process. Yeah. Now we'll drop off the copper. We'll pick up all this stuff. I'm going to leave these behind and step through. And to run out of stamina here in a minute because I'm overloaded. Can I make the door? I don't know. Just barely, I think. See, now this is where having that little stair step outside the door really makes a difference. Because when you're overloaded like this, you can't go up and over even the tiniest little bump. I gotta put some of this stuff down. So, if you try to do that, it wouldn't work. Okay. Wood. Yes. Redwarfize. So, first I'll repair. Then the metal items. Swap those two back again. Pick up those stones. And where did I have... Didn't I have piles of stones out here somewhere? Thought I did. No? Probably at the other end. I'm gonna run out of stamina again. Ah, here we are. So, put another pile of stones. And such a point as I get to building in stone, I may be very glad of having that sitting out there. And not having to go and dig it all up. Okay. Okay, roll again. Got night coming on here. Before I leave the area, we're definitely going to have to go clean up those trees. Really cannot leave that sitting like that. But for the moment, I want the copper. Hey, look at that. One more big chunk over there. Okay. Oh, it's a little tiny bit of copper. Okay. Sometimes if you turn these a little bit, you can snuggle them together a little bit tighter. All right. Fix your gear. Sleep through the night. Okay. Now we need to go and get that copper that we mined out up here. We cannot, of course, bring it home through the portal. So we're going to have to bring it home on foot, and that's going to limit us to what we can carry. There is a cart. Oh, I can't make it yet because I haven't gotten one of the ingredients. But anyway, there is a cart that one can use. The problem is it's very hard to get that up and down steep slopes, and as you know, all the rivers around here have extremely steep slopes. It's going to make it very, very difficult. So, instead, hang on a minute. I'm going to step back through and empty out my inventory a little bit, which will also reduce my carried weight. Use some. I have some empty chests here somewhere, don't I? Yeah. I'll use this one. Okay, I'm going to take away those arrows, Yep. Much stuff as I can. I'm even going to unload some of the food. All right. So now I've got my weight down to 53 of 300. Oh. Before I do that, I'll eat some of that food. No? All right. I'll leave that door open. And let's go through. Let's see how much copper I can pick up with my current weight capacity. Can I get that much? Yeah, I can. Looks like I can get a couple more, maybe. Let's say 2. No. 1. So I can carry 24. Well, that's frustrating. If I could get just one more. That's 10 pounds. All right, I'm going to leave these arrows behind. And that will let me get, I think, 2 more, right? No. 1 more. That's not going to cut it. Let's see, how much does each of these weigh? They each weigh 10 pounds. Okay, let's see if we can get myself up to 10 pounds. What I'm trying to do is get it so where I can do the whole thing in just 2 trips. If possible. How much does this weigh? Almost 10 pounds right there. All right. Can I get another 2? Yes. Okay, great. So I've got 27 here, and I've got 26 there, and that means I can make the rest of it in a single trip. I might have to make another trip to pick up my gear, but that's all right, because that can happen through the portal. Get my claws on here. And pick my spot to cross the river. It's a bit wide here. Let's move down. Okay, this'll do. Yep, my food's starting to blink, but I have no food to eat. I can eat when I get to the other end. It's always a little risky to remove food and arrows and so forth, leaving you kind of disarmed. That's the moment when you'll get attacked by some random creature. But it's a short trip. We should be all right. Okay. Are you full of coal? You are not. Okay. Get that in there. Grab some honey and eat some of it. Let's see, where did we put the... Eat some of that, eat some of that. Good. Let's go back through. Yeah, this is a relatively short ore carrying trip. Sometimes when you do things like silver, where you have to haul it all the way down from the mountains, you can have a very long trip that you have to cover. And I've even built entire roads just to bring silver down from the mountains, make it quicker and easier. Oh, that was a little careless. Okay, okay, just walk, just walk, just walk. Yep. Always check your stamina before you get in the water. That was a little close. Okay. Put that in there. Well, all right. Now, finally, we'll go retrieve the rest of our... Oops, wrong side. Go retrieve the rest of our gear that we left behind over there. Okay, food Hammer. Arrows. Make sure those are selected. Okay. Those trees. Yes. Can't leave that behind. Well, look. We've got some helpers that are going to come in and help us cut the trees, right? No? Oh. Yeah, we're going to have quite an excess of wood after this. Well, never have too much wood. Should be several stumps in here that I missed. Yep. Now the question is, can I cut that last bit down there without breaking yet another tree? Thinking probably not. How's my weight? Getting kind of full. Let's see. Nope. Well, there's hope, though, that that one won't break that tree. See, once it's already on the ground, it can't fall anymore, and therefore doesn't have the energy to cause damage to the surrounding trees. And there we go. Oh, that's done. And there, that's the end of that cascading tree cutting event. Fortunately, this is all wood, so we can just take it through the portal. I am absolutely certain that this will exceed the capacity of my wood chest. So, oh yeah. So what we can do is take it over here. We could pile it up, or we can take it over here, fill that up because we need more coal anyway, and then put some of the spare wood here in preparation for making more coal out of it. Okay. Oh, and speaking of coal, I need to fill this thing up again. And continue processing our copper. And let's see if it's time to sleep. We can sleep through the night here and speed this process up. Let's see. Yeah. Now you might wonder how I remember where I put all these different things in the boxes. I do follow a pattern, but usually it's just a matter of learning the individual setup for each base you build and memorizing it. Okay, so we now have oh, I gotta pick up my other stuff. My inventory's still empty. We now have a substantial amount of copper. Start crafting some bronze. See what all we can make out of it. Let me get the rest of my stuff out of here. Yep. Had 2 of those. Rest of my food. Yeah. Carry the extra one of those just in case. Okay. So let's see what all we can make. Bronze nails. That's going to open up a number of recipes for us. But let's take a look what else we've got. Bronze head arrows. Now, the metal pointed arrows are very effective. They do a lot of damage. But metal, especially in the early game, is such a precious commodity. Hang on a moment. There we go. That I can never really justify spending it on arrows when you've got other arrows that are perfectly suitable. So I never make bronze head arrows. If you find some out in the world, go ahead and use them. If you have bronze flowing out of your ears, go ahead and make them, but I don't. Bronze at gear. This is a pole arm. Very effective pole arm. Some people really like it. It doesn't fit my style of play, so I do not make this, but it's a very good weapon. Bronze axe we have. Bronze plate armor. So the bronze armor is great, and I used to make it every time I played through, but I've gone down different paths in more recent playthroughs, and I tend not to use it. But it's great if you want maximum protection. It's going to have a much higher armor level. So, for example, the bronze plate tunic gives you an armor of 8, whereas my patterns of the bear, oh, look at that. That's actually higher. Well, the armor I would have used in the past before this is troll hide armor, and it's much less than this. It's probably, I think, only armor of like 6 or something. So definitely the bronze plate would have been a step up. The other thing about the bronze armor is that it does impact your movement. It makes you slow because it's heavy. So I don't really like that. The cultivator. This is one of the greatest tools. This is the tool that lets you prepare the ground and plant crops that you can grow. And this leads the way to lots of greatly improved foods with much better buffs to your health and your stamina. So the cultivator is a must make. We may make that here in a few minutes. It takes 5 bronze. Okay. This is the helmet part of the bronze armor. The butcher knife. Okay, this is a special tool. Normally, if you tame animals such as boars, you can't attack them with your weapons. They become allies, and the restriction against striking allies with your weapons comes into fore. Now you can turn on the PvP mode with the what they call friendly fire, and that works fine. But another way to do it is to make the butcher knife, and then let you attack your tamed animals and slaughter them, which you have to do to get their food and skins and so forth. I'm not going to tame any animals in this playthrough, so we're not going to make the butcher knife. Copper knife is an excellent upgrade over the flint knife, but I've gone the route of the paws of the bear, so we will not be making that this time, but it's a very good weapon. The bronze mace. This is the reason why I'm not going to be upgrading my club. The bronze mace provides far higher damage and just a generally better weapon, and that would be the next step that I'd go in the blunt type weapons. Bronze pickaxe we've already made. The bronze buckler is an outstanding improvement to the wooden shield. The bronze buckler specializes in parrying, and it's real good at that. And I may make that one, but I'm not going to make it right this second. Bronze spear. This is an upgrade over the flint spear. It's a good weapon. But I'm not favoring spears in this playthrough, so I will not be making one. The bronze sword, another outstanding weapon, and it could start you on the path to your sword skills. Later in the game, sword skills are very important, but in this stage of the game, I tend to stick with daggers, so I will not be using the bronze sword at this time. And finally, Heart of the Forest. Remember when we picked up the Great Orc Shaman trophy the last time? It told us about this trinket. And what trinkets do is you equip them, and they do take an equipment slot, so that's something to consider. But when it comes into an effect, and we'll talk about that in a second, when it comes into effect, it'll give you a very temporary buff where your health regen will increase by 25%, and it lasts for 60 seconds. In order to get it to trigger, you basically have to take a hit and ideally block that hit. And if you can even get as far as a parry, that triggers it even faster. You do also get it triggered from just taking a hit without blocking it, but it takes longer. So this is kind of a reactionary effect. After you've been hit or blocked or parried a certain number of times or a certain amount of damage, this will trigger. You'll hear a special sound. You'll get this little bar that'll appear on your screen, and you get a sudden boost in health regen. And it's designed to kind of save you when you're in a tough fight, getting in trouble. This all sounds great, but unfortunately, it does take the auxiliary equipment slot, and that becomes a very precious thing as the game goes on. So I don't really favor it too much. Different people will give you different opinions. Part of the reason I don't favor this is that I'm so poor at parrying and blocking that mine just doesn't trigger very often, and it's not worth the carrying of this item and the sometimes rather expensive cost of making it. This doesn't seem like much, 5 bronze, but some of the later ones really cost expensive items to make. So I approve the fact that this was added. It's a great option. Doesn't work for me personally. It should not be taken as a criticism of the mechanism. If you like this, if it works for you, by all means use it. So what am I going to make? Well, that's a good question. I definitely want to make the bronze mace, and that is 8 bronze. I definitely want to make a cultivator, and that is 5 bronze, total of 13 there. And there's something else I want to make too. So I've talked previously in rather roundabout means about upgrading the workbench. In order to do that, I need to make a new device, and that is the adze. This is it right here. And this takes a little bit of bronze, takes 3 bronze and 10 fine wood, and this will give us that level 4 workbench we've been looking for. So I definitely want to do that. I always try to upgrade my workbenches. So let's get some fine wood. I think it needed 10 or something like that. Okay. And we'll place the adze down. You know, this thing's kind of big. Maybe we'll take it outside. We get it here. There we go. Okay. There we go. Workbench level 4. So now if we go to upgrade, you'll see we've got all these different things that can be upgraded. We just need the right ingredients. So that's great. Let's see. We should have some more. Oh, come on. We should have some more copper out here. Oh. We're carrying too much. Really? Hadn't noticed. Need some food. Okay, so now that we've upgraded the workbench, we'll get to those other upgrades in a bit. But let's see what else we have material to make. Definitely want to make a cultivator, but I would like to make the mace as well. I don't have enough to make the mace. I do have enough to make the cultivator. Let's get me some core wood. Make a cultivator. I have a little bit of bronze left. Is that enough to upgrade the cultivator? It would be if I had a level 2 forge. Well, I need to do that soon. Okay, I'll put away the core wood for the moment. And I do now have the cultivator, and we'll definitely get around to using that. Alright, let's start working through some of these upgrades. First, let's fix our stuff. And fine wood bow. We need fine wood, core wood, and deer hide. Okay. Pine wood, core wood, and deer hide. Great. Oh, came up one short on the core wood. Okay. Upgrade, fine wood bow. Super. That has now reached its maximum capability, level 4, which is true of most weapons. There's exceptions like shields always stop at 3, and some tools like the hoe and the hammer also stop at 3. Deer hide cape. We need 8 deer hide and 10 bones. Wow, 10 bones. No problem. We got plenty of bones. Upgrade you. Now, I could upgrade the club, but I'm going to make that mace, so we're not going to do that. In fact, we're going to put the club away in our old weapons. Where did that come from? I don't remember making that. Well, no worries. Put the club away. Oh, wait, I do remember that. That was when one of my deaths, I needed a quick temporary weapon. Okay, put the fine wood away. Deer hide. Good. What else can we upgrade? Okay, patterns of the bear. We need 4 hide and 4 blueberries. Pores of the bear, we need 4 hide and 4 scraps. And loincloth of the bear, we need 4 hide and 2 blueberries. So we need a total of 12 hide, 4 scraps, and I think that was 6 blueberries. So there's my 4 scraps. I do have enough for the 12 hide. I don't think I needed any paws, but I'll grab those anyway. And blueberries. Nope. Yep. I don't remember. I'll just grab some. So, let's get some upgrades. Yes. Yes. And yes. Leather helmet. I want to make that... I want to make that bear helmet, but we just don't have the stuff, so I need 12 hide and 10 bones. Ooh, I seem to be naked. Put your clothes back on. Okay, nope. Yep. I'll put the blueberries away. Tell you what, put the bronze away for the moment, because we're not using it at this second. Bones. And deer hide. Yeah, don't remember how much. Okay, upgrade. Leather helmet. That's 3. It'll take a level 5 workbench to upgrade further. Yeah, we'll be done with the leather helmet before we reach that point. Okay. So let's put all that stuff on. And now our armor is all the way up to 31. This is outstanding. We're in a much stronger position now. Maybe even enough to start taking on those bears hand to hand. Yeah, let's see what our claws are doing. 33 slash. That's good. That's real good. Now, I should point out something here. If you take a look at the damage for the paws of the bear, it says slash 33. You're like, okay, I'm going to do 33 points of damage. Well, no. The numbers in the parentheses next to it say 14 to 24. That that is the actual damage that you're going to do when you're using that weapon, somewhere between 14 and 24. Why is it less than 33? 33 is the maximum achievable with that level of weapon, with a quality 3 Paws of the Bear. But your skill has a lot to do with it. My skill in fists is 30 out of a maximum of 100. So, if you take a look at this, I'm about 30% of the way along to getting that maximum possible thing. Now, in fact, you actually begin to hit the maximum damage when your skill level's at about 75. And then when you go from 75 to 100, you are compressing the damage that you do so that you are more likely to hit that actual full maximum. So, yeah, I won't really do 33 slash. It's only a comparative value for other weapons. For example, the axe, which does 40 slash. And you can see there, I'm actually going to do more like 12 to 24. So in many respects, the axe, even though it has a higher potential damage, is not doing quite as much, probably because my skill level is smaller. Let's see. Axes. Yeah, my skill level in axes is 8. My skill level in fists is 30. So I'm doing more of my potential damage with the claws than I am with the axe. And that's mostly because I'm using the axe primarily for cutting wood and not as a weapon. Later on, I will definitely start using the axe more as a weapon, but that's very late in the game. So, we've got an empty toolbar slot here that's just waiting for a certain bronze mace. So what do we need for that? We need 8 bronze and some wood and scraps. What do we have as far as metal? Oops. We have 2. Let's see what we've got out here. Okay. Well, first of all, let's get our charcoal production going again. Going to keep that running to keep up with the smelter. Fill that up. Sometimes when you have a really large operation going with a bunch of kilns and a bunch of smelters, it's almost a full-time job just trying to run around and keep everything filled up. Okay. So now we have 2 bronze. We have 20 copper. Oh, look at that. We're actually a little short of tin right now. So actually, I'm going to change this to 16. Since it's a 2 for 1. That's the most I can make on bronze right now. There we go. And we'll do individual bronze. Well, look at that. That's 8 bronze. And we need some wood. Some leather scraps, I believe. And we can make a bronze mace. Super! We now have a reasonably full set of bronze gear. We have the bronze mace. Hello? Bronze mace. The fine wood bow doesn't contain any bronze, but I consider it to be a bronze level weapon. The bronze axe, bronze pickaxe, and the cultivator. Now all of these are level 1. Let's see if we can upgrade those. Bronze axe, cultivator, bronze... Okay, well, they all need a level 2 forge, so how can we upgrade the forge? Let's see what... Well, not with that. Let's see what we've got. So here's the forge, and we've got a couple of upgrades for it. We've got the anvils, which takes 2 bronze to make. We've got the forge cooler, which takes 10 copper to make. Okay. There is one other consideration, too. You see this guy over here, the fermenter, takes 5 bronze to make. And the mead kettle takes 6 copper and 4 tin. These 2 tools together are what allows us to make meads, which are the potions of this game. They're very, very important. So we'd like to get all of those things going. We'd honestly like to get both of these upgrades made. We'd like to get the mead kettle. We'd like to get the fermenter. I'm not sure if we have enough materials for all of these things. What we would definitely like to do, though, is get at least one upgrade to the forge. So that takes 2 bronze, and this one takes 10 copper. Let's see what we've got left. No. Night has come on here. So, we have 4 copper, although we've got some out there smelting. We have 2 bronze, which is enough. Isn't that enough to make that? Yep, we could make the anvils with that. That might be the simplest way. Tell you what, let's sleep through the night and think on it. Oh, hi there, Manitou. I didn't see you before. I was very focused on the game. Sorry about that. Am I playing alone? I am. This is not a group server. And this is kind of me practicing the art of streaming. I've only just started it about a week ago, so I'm not very good at this. Starting tomorrow, however, I'm going to be joining one of the shared servers associated with the Val-Con fan convention for Valheim. Hype Week is an event we're putting on to promote shared servers, all kinds, and I'm going to be hosting one called valheim, and hopefully have a whole bunch of players joining me. And then you'll definitely see a different play style when I'm in a world with a bunch of other people. Okay, so I've got 10 more copper there. There are links in this stream that will, in the description of the stream, that will tell you how you can find out about Val-Con and ways that you can join in. You yourself can join and play on the Valheim server, and I would love to see you there. Then it all starts at 12 UTC tomorrow, which is about 7 a.m. in my own time zone, which is the central time zone in the U.S. Okay. So, I have enough to make the anvils. I have enough to make the cooler. I have enough to make the mead kettle, except I don't have the tin for it. I could make enough bronze. Well, actually, no, I can't. I'm out of tin, right? Yeah, I actually can't make any more bronze right at the moment without getting some more tin. You know what? The heck with it. I'm going to go with the anvils. It's always kind of a choice as to which one of the things you make first. But in some senses, it doesn't matter. Make something. Now I have a level 2 forge, and I can start the upgrades of these other things. That will also take bronze, and bronze, and bronze, and more bronze. So I definitely need to go get some more tin. And copper. You always need more. Alright, let me put back the wood. Okay. Let me fill this up. Let me take that and fill that up. Got to keep these things going. And that is it. I am all out of ore for the moment. Well, we did pretty good. We got a whole bunch of new tools. I think what I'd like to do is build the mead kettle. Now, the mead kettle needs a fire. So I'm going to reconfigure this business a little bit. Yeah. In order to fit 3 items, there's plenty of room, but I'd kind of like to have 3 fires. I'll take a little more wood, but I'll also take another 5 stone. And we're going to move 3 fires across here. Start with one in the middle. And then we'll just, there we go, squeeze in a couple more. There. Okay. Give them all fuel. Well, at least that was the theory. Now, I think what I'll do is I'll put the Let's see. Oh, I need more wood, don't I? Take the rest of that. Yeah, should be enough. Okay, I'm going to put the wood cooking stations here, and here, and here. Kind of squeeze them in on that end. I'm going to put the cauldron down on this end, like that. And this middle section, we'll put the mead kettle. And it will be kind of like that. I didn't actually need to squeeze everything so much. All right. Come on. It's also a good idea to leave some room to actually access the fires themselves, because you do need to refuel them. Okay. Now, the mead kettle. What do I need for that? I need 6 copper, 4 tin, and some leather scraps. Well, I have the copper. I do not have the tin. Do I have enough copper to make that cooler? It takes 10. Yeah, I can do that. So 10 copper. And what was it, 25? Something like that? A lot of fine wood. Yeah, 25. Expensio. Throw you in over there. And now I have a level 3 workbench. Wow! Things I could make, which are actually the same things I already have. But more to the point, I can probably upgrade all of these to level 3, which would be great. I just need tons and tons of bronze. Ugh. As you can maybe tell, I'm kind of picky about how things are arranged in my chest. I have a very definite pattern to it. I'll spend a lot of time futzing around, moving things around. Oh, here's another question. Are there any new comfort items that I can make? Well, let's see. No, nothing seems to have appeared for the moment, so we're still here at comfort level 9, which isn't bad. It's given us 16 minutes of rested, which is really quite a bit. Have any more wood in there? A little bit. Okay. So we're going to need several things here. We definitely need more tin, more copper. Here, let me harvest some honey while I'm out here. The other thing I'd like to get going, though, is I want to start our crops growing. We need better foods. We've got essentially all the equipment we need to make it. All we need now are the crops. And, you know, we've been collecting carrot seeds. And what I'd like to do is set up some crop areas, probably right in this area where I'm standing here. So let's get out our cultivator. Get busy on that. Honey? We have so much honey, it's ridiculous. Where are those seeds? Why, there they are. Okay. So, planting crops is not difficult. You pick an area. Well, first of all, you equip your cultivator. Now, the cultivator has several things it can do. One is it can cultivate, which will make ground that's good for planting crops. Another thing is you can put grass back on. Let's check that out for a second. Now, stop that. So all these areas out here where we left it kind of all dirt and muddy, that's not the prettiest thing in the world. But we can come along and we can replace the grass. Just like this. Isn't that nice? And then it looks almost like it was supposed to be that way all along. I usually try to do that to areas outside the places where I've built, and sometimes inside as well. It depends on the look I'm going for. Yeah. Now, I say it puts back grass. In fact, what it puts back is the natural terrain of the biome. So if you're in the meadows, you get grass. If you're in the black forest, you get black forest grass, which looks a little different. If you're in the swamp, you get swamp stuff, and so on. The mountains, you kind of get snow. Yeah. Takes a lot of stamina, though. So this is fun. Just generally improves the look of the place. It's not such a mud pit. By the way, I call it a mud pit. It isn't actually muddy, but it kind of looks like it would be if you were really there. Okay. You know, it doesn't need to be perfect. Some of this will probably have leaked inside. Oh. That's all right. Okay. See, what else can this thing do? Okay, it can do that. It can do cultivate. And here's how it plants things. You've got carrots, if we want to plant a carrot plant. We've got various types of trees that we can plant, so you can plant your own tree farm and harvest them and have an unlimited supply of wood, more or less, depending on which tree you choose. Some trees will not produce enough seeds to grow continuously. Others will. All right, so here I'm on the carrot, and you can see doesn't want to plant it there. It needs cultivated soil. So I will start cultivating a patch here, and I try to do it neatly. Sometimes I'll put like a wooden border around it. I don't think I'll do it this time. I'll just do a stretch. It doesn't need to be gigantic, but you just need a decent amount of space. And keep in mind that the plants will also need to have some open air among them, or above them, I should say, to allow for sunlight, I guess, whatever. Plants can't be too close together and so forth. So yeah, so here's a farm field. You know, good enough. Doesn't need to be perfect. So now I switch to the carrot seeds and I start planting. You don't want to plant them too close together, but you want to get some room for them. So I have 36 seeds, which is really good for starting a farm. So let me let me zoom in just a little bit. And how much space you put between them? Well, you know, some. Unfortunately, it will only tell you after the fact that you put them too close together, and then you'll lose that plant that's too close. That's kind of a pain. But, you know, something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. There are some ways you can help improve your plant spacing. That involves mods, and we're definitely doing a vanilla-only playthrough here. So I just like to put them in rows or something. I might be getting those too close together. Gotta watch it a little farther apart. Okay. That's all of my seeds. Now, I go back and look at them, and they all say they're healthy. None of them are turning yellow or anything like that, so I think I got it okay. Yeah. So that's when I took a carrot seed and planted it to make a carrot grow. There's an alternate mode, which we don't have yet because we haven't picked up the right thing. And that is when you get a carrot, you can plant that again and get carrot seeds. So it's a closed cycle, a circle where you get some seeds, plant those and make carrots, then get some carrots, plant those and make seeds. The carrot will return 3 seeds for every carrot you plant. So it's an increasing process. The more carrots you put in, the more seeds you will get, and you can keep building up your quantity of seeds until you have hundreds and hundreds. And you can therefore have a robust, sustainable crop, literally from a single carrot seed, if that's all you had to start. But I started with over 30, which is great. Fix my tools here. Now, I don't normally carry the cultivator around. It doesn't have much use out in the field. So it's just an extra slot going to waste. But definitely want to have it handy when you're at home. Okay. Okay, folks, we've kind of done some of the most essential things we wanted to do today. We moved ourselves into the Bronze Age, upgraded a lot of our tools, got more smelting going. We got crops in the ground. I wish I could show you how those work out a little bit later. Unfortunately, because I've got the Val-Con events coming up today, and I'm sorry, coming up tomorrow. I have some preparatory work that I need to go through with some folks, and that means I'm going to be ending my stream a little bit early today. But I remind you all to check out the Val-Con website. That's val-con.org, O-R-G. Or go find the Val-Con YouTube channel or the Val-Con Twitch channel tomorrow morning at 12 UTC. And that is 7 a.m. Central Daylight Time in the United States. There's going to be a stream on the Val-Con YouTube and Twitch channels that introduces Hype Week. And in that stream, you will learn how you can get the credentials for the various Hype Week servers, including Vanillahime, my own server. And then you can join in and play on those servers along with lots of other people from around the world. Literally around the world. And then starting next Friday, 17th, at, I believe it's 19 UTC, we have the live streams of the Val-Con convention itself, and that runs for 3 days from the 17th through the 19th, just as indicated in the banner on my my screen right now. We want to see all of you there. Check us out. Watch the streams. We got lots of great content. We're going to have lots of great guest stars. I've heard a rumor that we're going to have guests from Iron Gate themselves. And although they will not be making any announcements about the Deep North or the 1.0 release, sorry, that's going to be announced later on. They will certainly be talking about the game as it stands today and the way that fans have turned it into something far beyond what they ever thought of. We'll have some other great guests. We've got some music from a Swedish band called Brothers of Metal. Great stuff. I invite you to check them out. I believe they're part of the links that we've got in our various content. And, it's going to be a great time. I'd encourage everyone to at least take a look at it. I will be streaming next tomorrow from Vanillahime, starting at a little bit before 12 UTC and continuing for a couple of hours. And then I'll be on a 3-a-day schedule going at 12 UTC and what's my schedule? Hang on a moment. I'll look that up for me. Stop that. I'm going to be going at, it's 12 UTC and that's it. It's 19 UTC and 1 UTC the next day, but it's actually the same day for me here in my time zone. Every day from starting tomorrow until the 16th. Then on the 17th, not sure if I'll be streaming from Vanillahime during the Val-Con convention weekend. I probably will at some point, but it's not on a specific schedule. But yeah, for the next week, I'm going to be streaming from Vanillahime 3 times a day. So come and check it out. Come and join the server. Do a playthrough of your own. Start a nice fresh character there and do a standard Valheim playthrough, and with hopefully a big group of other people where you can talk and swap tips, or if you're a brand new player, you can learn how things work and get some great tips from some veteran players. I would love to see you all there. So, thank you for watching my stream. I'll see you the next time. Bye now.